This was the exact moment Nvidia saved the markets. The earnings that Nvidia just gave us is off the charts. We're going to break it down here in this video, what this is going to do for some of our favorite stocks, hint hint Tesla, as well as what Elon Musk just said about the Cybertruck. Tesla's stock at the time of recording this video is up almost 3% in after hours trading. And you wonder why we talked about Nvidia earnings so much here on the channel. It was a massive catalyst for the markets, and we just got a green light for Tesla stock to go much higher from here. Analysts were expecting $11.22 billion of revenue for Nvidia, and Nvidia comes in at $13.51 billion. It's almost like Nvidia is trolling at this point. The beats are off the charts, but not just the beats, the guidance. Nvidia said it expects third quarter revenue of $16 billion, higher than the $12.61 billion forecasted by analysts. Nvidia has done it again for the second quarter in a row. This would be guidance of 170% sales growth on an annual basis for the current third quarter. AI is booming, and it's better than ever. Nvidia's CEO says a new computing era has begun. Companies worldwide are transitioning from general purpose to accelerated computing and generative AI. Nvidia also authorized a $25 billion share buyback. Now, why am I talking about Nvidia? Isn't this a Tesla channel? And that's exactly it. I've been talking about Nvidia. This is not the first time. For days and days now. And look what's going on with Tesla stock, up 2.3% in after hours. Who knew? Well, of course we didn't know the actual direction, but things have implied that it was going to be a positive earnings for Nvidia. And based off of the vast majority of investors, well, they were also expecting positive earnings from Nvidia. But simply put, let's leave out the nonsense filler here. Why is this positive for Tesla? I'll tell you right now. Nvidia's earnings was the number one biggest catalyst that could have caused the markets to crash. Not just fall, but crash. Because why? Last earnings back in May, the S&P 500 was struggling to break out above 420. There was a lot of bears back in May. The banking crisis had just happened. There was a reason to be bearish. And what happened? Nvidia came out and said AI is alive. Again, it's happening today, right now. There's a revolution going on, is basically translating what Nvidia's earnings told investors back in May. And then almost instantly, the bears were gone. They went into hibernation and the markets rallied. And there was momentum behind the markets based off of AI. After all, look at the bond yields. The 10-year, 2-year, 3-month, all of the bond yields are much higher today than where they were back in May. Meaning your borrowing costs are exponentially higher today than then. That would normally be a bearish catalyst. China has massively deteriorated as far as their economy since May. Europe is now in a recession. And the flash services PMI we got today did not look good. Very suggestive of a slowdown. But Nvidia and AI has far-reaching effects on multiple different sectors. Tesla, we obviously know Tesla is massive in the AI field. Just look at their products. Look at full self-driving. I think a car driving itself is probably the most relevant AI there is out in the markets, or maybe the most useful AI out there in the marketplace today. So if Nvidia can do it, and Nvidia can soar from lows of $100 per share to now over $500 per share, why could Tesla not reach all-time highs again? Is that a far stretch? I would say probably not. So your biggest potential bearish catalyst was ultra bullish yet again. But we still do have one more catalyst that will be important this week, and that is the speech from Fed Jerome Powell on Friday. But I have said very clear here on this channel, Nvidia's earnings was the most important, biggest catalyst that could have caused downside in the markets. And that did not happen. Fed Jerome Powell is important, sure, but it's not very likely he gives us brand new bearish information that we have not heard before. That's just not likely, given where inflation is today. Elon Musk is pictured driving the Cybertruck with a big ol' smile on his face. He says, just drove the production candidate Cybertruck at Tesla's Giga Texas. Elon Musk then said in response to Doge Designer on Twitter, I think this is our best product ever. So given all of the testing that we have seen with the Cybertruck, day in and day out, we're getting new updates about the Cybertruck testing in cold conditions, hot conditions, on racetracks, in elevation, suspension, so on and so forth. And now Elon Musk is driving, presumably, a Cybertruck that is ready for delivery. The announcement is coming very soon, as we mentioned a couple of videos ago. That is going to be a very big deal for Tesla stock. And now that the biggest potential bearish catalyst is out of the way, and this is actually being a huge benefit to Tesla, Tesla stock should be able to continue to rally from here. As I said just a couple of days ago, this bounce off of 215 was not due to an equity research firm saying that Tesla was one of their best ideas for next year. That's BS. Complete BS. Someone knows something is coming with Tesla stock, and somebody was tipped off to that information. What about Nvidia earnings? Everyone just knew that Nvidia's earnings were going to be bullish. Analysts were raising their price targets to $800 per share following right before Nvidia's earnings because of no reason? No. They were doing that because they knew something. And that's the same reason why Tesla has bounced off of 215. Question is, when do we actually get the date of first deliveries and the event for the Cybertruck? Now, keep in mind, there is always a chance that Elon could cut prices, or the US could see a sharp slowdown, or another bank fails, or something crazy that we can't forecast could happen, and the stock could fall. But unless anything crazy happens, I see Tesla stock making its way over $300 per share within the next month or so. It actually could happen a lot sooner if we do get the refreshed Model 3's launch or the Cybertruck coming sooner than expectations. If you guys would like to come trade with us live in real time, every time I make trades, I send out alerts on Tesla or any other stock, option, and or crypto, as well as the other members post their trades as well. It's almost a requirement. Check out that link down below in the description of this video. Let me know what your expectations are for Tesla stock over the next coming weeks down below in the comment section. Coming to us as breaking news, James Locke on Twitter says, Elon Musk, I say this with all due respect. Enough with the hype. Let's get down to business. Please announce the specs, pricing, and new estimated delivery event date. This was a comment to the previous picture that we showed you with Elon Musk driving the production candidate Cybertruck. And Elon Musk responds and said, when we are ready to do so, we will. While I think it is our best product ever, it is an extremely difficult product to build. We are in uncharted territory because it is not like anything else. I think this makes a lot of sense. Just beyond just building a couple Cybertrucks here or there, 5 or 10 a day, there's 2 million reservations. That's not gonna cut it. I would rather wait until Tesla is able to produce a couple hundred a day maybe, or just a better number than 10 or so, as we estimate they're likely producing right now. So there's not a production problem when push comes to shove. That's what I think is more important. I would rather wait an extra month or two, or hell, a couple weeks, to be able to produce more Cybertrucks. Get ready for the demand that you are going to see for this product. This demand is going to be like nothing else you have seen ever in the auto industry. This would be comparable to the Model T, in my personal opinion. The first real combustion engine at mass scale back in that time. Demand's going to be off the charts. You need to be able to meet that demand with supply. So I think while this is not necessarily confirming the Cybertruck is coming any day now, it is further credence that Tesla is going about things the right way. And when this thing actually does launch, it's going to launch for real. In other Tesla stock news today, Texas has announced that Tesla electric customers with Powerwalls in Dallas and Houston are participating in the first ever ERCOT virtual power plant. These customers will be paid for every kilowatt hour sent to help stabilize the grid. Quote, today's launch of the first phase of the Tesla virtual power plant is a milestone for Texas residents, Texas distribution utilities, and the ERCOT grid, said Baglino on Twitter. Quote, our collective work has allowed Tesla to build a decentralized energy ecosystem that seamlessly integrates stored solar energy from Powerwalls onto the ERCOT grid. And here is an actual picture of someone that has participated in this. Maka's over on Twitter is the one that's posting it. Not quite sure if he's the actual one in this photo, but here's a check from Tesla. Even Tesla checks look good. Another update on this picture with Elon Musk inside the Cybertruck cheesing from Jeff Lutz on Twitter. I spy a change in terminology. Release candidate. And that's what I picked up on as well. I'm glad someone else did. July employee photo and production candidate are usually two different phases, with production candidate being the final phase before ramp. Congrats to the Tesla team on another major Cybertruck milestone. And Doge Army General, that looked a little bit weird to say, on Twitter says, Jeff, are there typically multiple candidates that are then weaned down to the final winner, or how does it work? Jeff Lutz says, depends how messy they came into PC. My guess is PC is either approved or very close to approval based on the grin on Elon's face. Proud papa there. And that's exactly it. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but yeah, he's grinning. Tesla Economics posted on Twitter and says X will surpass a $1 trillion valuation one day. And Elon Musk responded and said, it is in the set of possible outcomes. I see a path. To put this into context, Tesla stock today is only around $700 billion. If X can get to $1 trillion, imagine where Tesla will be. Take a listen to what Oppenheimer just said about Tesla stock.
Stock still in bear market territory. Joining us now is Oppenheimer analyst Colin Rush. He has a hold rating on Tesla. First, let's just talk about yesterday's move. Is it technical in nature? Was there some kind of fundamental basis for it, or just simply a stock that's been oversold that received a bit of a bounce on a little bit of good news?
I I think it's more the latter than the other dynamics. I mean, the company is going through a bit of a product refresh here, and I think some of the discounting reports that were out there around pricing were oversold here, and I think people were digesting some of that. You also see a stock move 20% like this one has, and a company that really is pioneering important technology over the coming decades, and I think folks just look at this and say time to take a short-term trade on this or cover a short.
Makes sense. So you have a hold rating. The stock's basically flat over the last year or so. What do you think would be the catalyst to the upside or downside from here?
For us, it's really around a change in dynamics around the manufacturing margins and, incremental evidence around the ability to monetize subscription services or recurring revenue, whether it's on the insurance side, on the self-driving technology. But the stock this year has moved, in large part around the AI trade. And so what we're looking at on our end is that it's going to take a while for them to monetize some of that IP and the investments that they're making now. These are very complicated challenges. There's a variety of technologies that are getting pioneered right now, and as the company works through that, and we think they will be successful ultimately, there's going to be an investment cycle and lower margins for longer, and that's why we're staying on the sidelines. And so as we look at this company, it looks like it's kind of in hibernation mode, or not necessarily hibernation mode, but in a flat line here for a little while as the company works through the real productization and monetization of the technology investments that they're making.
And on the long-term side of things, for capacity, you note in your latest note that this is a company that receives IRA benefits. They're investing heavily to expand that. What kind of time projection are you looking at on that front to see things really ramp up in terms of capacity?
They are getting immediate benefit from those IRA provisions, so that's happening right now. I mean, the real core dynamic here around margins is the competitive dynamic, and the competition out of Asia is getting very aggressive around pricing, and the margins on the hardware here with the cars are going to be challenged for a little bit as the industry goes through a cost reduction effort to really break through and move into the mass market. That's not a short-term project. That's a multi-year project, and we think the company has a significant cost advantage versus a lot of their peers, particularly Western OEMs, and certainly has worked through a lot of the ramp challenges that a lot of those Western OEMs are working through right now. And this is just a multi-year process. And so as we look at this, waiting for the consumer to rebound a little bit, rates to stabilize, and see that consistent sell-through and the ability to start raising prices or at least raising margins for the company, which we think probably happens over the next 12 to 24 months, but it's just not the next 3 to 6 months.
Right. Well, we'll see how long this shift in momentum can really last. Shares up about 1.7% again today.
I don't know about you guys, but if you're a long-term investor, as I am myself, then that's pretty encouraging to hear a money manager such as Oppenheimer saying very positive things and constructive things about Tesla over the next 6 to 12 months, when Tesla stock has basically done nothing but sell off ever since Tesla's last earnings, which was very good. Nonetheless, Tesla's last earnings was better than expectations across the board. So this was a good bit of change up to hear positive commentary. Now, in conclusion to this video, Tesla's stock following Nvidia earnings, but really AI stocks in general, which happen to be your leaders of this market, your magnificent seven, if you will. Well, Nvidia earnings should pave the way for all of those stocks to go higher, unless we did get some kind of black swan event, in which a black swan event is something you cannot forecast anyways. So be on the lookout for anything negative that happens in the markets, but the way I look at it, stocks can continue higher. And Tesla, considering we have the Cybertruck launch pending, and the refresh Model 3, and there is a big reason to own Tesla in 2024, the next couple of months should be very exciting for Tesla shareholders. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. My name is Michael Tyler. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.